A lion does not concern itself with the opinion of sheep. It walks with purpose, hunts with precision, and leads with silence. The lion does not boast, it does not beg, it simply moves forward because it knows who it is. You see, in this life, it is not enough to wish, it is not enough to wait. You must step forward with the heart of a lion, unshaken, focused, and ready to conquer whatever stands in your path. A lion does not chase every noise in the jungle. It observes, it listens, and when the moment is right, it strikes with full force. This is not about aggression. It is about presence, discipline, and knowing the power that lives in stillness. Many people live like frightened deer, always running, always reacting, always escaping. But the lion does not run. It faces what comes. It owns its space. It trusts its instincts. This is the lion mentality. It is the ability to wait without weakness, to stay calm when the world expects you to break, to stay silent when others shout because your actions will speak louder than any words. Lions do not seek validation. They do not ask for permission to be great. They do not need a crowd to feel powerful. They are powerful alone. How many times have you played small to fit in? How many times have you hesitated because of fear? Fear of rejection, of judgment, of failure. But the lion knows fear is the invitation to grow. Every challenge is a test of character, not to prove to the world who you are, but to prove it to yourself. There are days you will be tired. There are moments when your strength will be tested. But remember, the lion doesn't roar because it's angry. It roars because it's alive. It doesn't wait for the right conditions. It doesn't need motivation from the outside. It has something stronger, a fire burning from within. That fire is discipline. That fire is consistency. That fire is focus. The lion does not look around to compare itself. It focuses on its own territory, its own goals, its own path. So ask yourself, why are you waiting to be chosen? Why are you shrinking your roar just to be accepted? You were never meant to fit into the crowd. You were meant to lead. This life will not hand you success. You must hunt it down, relentlessly, bravely. Unapologetically. You may not be the loudest, you may not be the strongest, but if you are the most disciplined, the most focused, you will rise, because the lion doesn't just survive, it dominates. Silence is strength expanded, Shi Heng Yi style in the wild. The lion does not need to roar to prove its presence. It walks with calmness, yet its aura commands respect. It is the energy, not the noise, that tells you something powerful is near. This is the power of silence. We live in a world obsessed with attention. People shout for validation, constantly explaining themselves, posting every step, every achievement, every thought, hoping the world will clap for them. But true strength is not loud. True strength is focused, still, and deeply rooted in presence. Silence is not weakness, it is control. It is knowing that your time, your words, and your energy are sacred, and you will not waste them trying to prove your worth. You move differently when you don't need applause. A warrior does not show his sword in every room he enters. A lion does not chase every animal it sees. And you must stop chasing every argument, every opinion, every distraction. Silence gives you the space to think, to breathe, to act with precision rather than reaction. Most people are quick to respond because they're afraid of appearing weak. But a lion knows silence is not retreat, it is observation. It's watching, studying, preparing for the exact moment to strike, and when that moment comes, there is no hesitation. In silence, you find power over your impulses. You gain mastery over your emotions. And you begin to operate from a place of discipline, not desperation. Silence is where self-control lives. It's where wisdom is born, and it's where your greatest transformation begins. Lead without permission. The lion does not ask the jungle, "May I lead?" It simply leads, not out of arrogance, but out of nature. It was born to be what it is, and so are you. But somewhere along the way, you forgot. You were conditioned to wait for approval, to wait for someone to recognize your value. to wait for the perfect moment, the perfect support, the perfect invitation. Let me tell you, the moment is already here. The permission you're waiting for will never come. No one is going to hand you a crown. No one will give you the green light to pursue the fire that's been burning inside you, because it's your fire, not theirs. You were not born to be a follower of indecision. You were not created to live a life built by others. You are meant to rise and walk a path that only you can walk. Leadership is not a title. It's not something someone gives you. It is a way of being. It is a decision you make moment by moment to show up fully, to act with intention, and to speak from truth, not ego. The lion does not dominate because others are weak. It dominates because it walks with absolute clarity. It knows what it is, and it does not hesitate to embody it, and so must you. You must lead your life, your mind, your habits, your emotions with clarity, with command, with discipline. Stop asking if you're good enough. Stop waiting for applause before you start moving. When you move from a place of truth, of inner strength, of purpose, you are already the leader, and it doesn't matter who notices. It doesn't matter who agrees, because a lion does not need the jungle to agree with it. It simply walks forward. Stay calm under pressure. Pressure reveals what is real. In the jungle, chaos can erupt at any moment, but the lion does not panic. It does not run. It does not scream. It simply stands still, alert, grounded. This is not weakness. This is not hesitation. This is control. Most people crumble under stress because they have never trained their mind to endure silence, discomfort, or uncertainty. They let emotions take over. They react impulsively out of fear, out of anxiety, out of confusion. But the one who remains calm when everything around them is falling apart, that is the one who leads. Calmness is not the absence of struggle. It is the mastery of response. It is a mind trained to hold space for the storm without letting the storm enter. The lion sees the threat. It feels the intensity. But it remains centered. Why? Because it has learned reacting with panic makes you vulnerable. Reacting with emotion makes you predictable. And in the wild, predictability is a weakness. When pressure rises, the undisciplined mind scatters. It overthinks, it doubts, it rushes, but the disciplined mind slows down, it breathes, it watches, it acts only when the moment is right. This is why staying calm is not just a mindset, it's a form of strength. The strength to not let the outside world dictate your inner state. The strength to carry the fire inside you without letting the winds outside blow it out. You are not here to be easily shaken. You are not here to be ruled by fear or stress. You are here to become like the lion, aware of the pressure, but never crushed by it. Calmness is the high ground of the warrior. It is where clarity lives. It is where true power begins to awaken. Hunt your goals relentlessly. A lion does not hunt because it wants to. It hunts because it must. Survival is not a choice, it is a requirement. And so it moves with purpose, with focus, with intensity. This is the mentality you must carry when it comes to your goals. They are not hobbies. They are not side projects. They are your duty, your responsibility to your potential. Too many people treat their dreams like decorations, nice to have, beautiful to imagine, but not necessary to pursue with fire. But the lion does not dream of the hunt, it commits to the hunt. Your goals must be chased with that same spirit, not when you feel like it, not when you're in the mood, but every single day, as if your very future depends on it, because it does. Discipline is the lion's hunger, and that hunger is not based on convenience. It is based on necessity. It will hunt when it's tired. It will hunt when it's alone. It will hunt even when the outcome is uncertain, because it cannot afford to sit still. And neither can you. The world will try to tame your fire. It will tell you to relax, to slow down, to be more realistic. But you must remember, if you want an uncommon life, you must be willing to move with uncommon effort. You cannot tiptoe toward greatness. You cannot casually approach transformation. You must be relentless. You must pursue your purpose like it is oxygen, because when you stop hunting it, you start dying inside. Your dreams are not waiting for you to be ready. They are waiting for you to become hungry enough to chase them with everything you have. There will be obstacles, there will be setbacks, but the lion does not quit after a failed hunt. It learns, it adjusts, and it returns stronger. This is how you must operate, with focus, with patience, and with a spirit that refuses to be denied. You are enough. Trust your power. The lion does not stand before the mirror each morning to remind itself that it is powerful. It does not seek approval. It does not ask, "Am I worthy?" It simply knows. It walks the earth with quiet certainty because it is rooted in its nature. You, too, were born complete. But somewhere along the path, the world began to whisper in your ear, "You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You're not ready yet." And slowly, that whisper became your own inner voice. You began to shrink. You began to doubt. You began to hide your light, waiting for someone to confirm what you already knew deep inside, that you are more than enough. The truth is, no external success can fill the emptiness caused by internal disbelief, and no failure can define a person who knows who they are. Your power is not in your appearance, not in your background, not in what others think you deserve. Your power is in your awareness. Your power is in your ability to sit still and truly know that everything you need already exists within you. This is not ego. This is alignment. This is the difference between performing for the world and moving from purpose. You must understand. No title, no award, no applause will give you what you are not already willing to give yourself. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is a quiet confidence, a deep trust in the warrior within you. And once you begin to trust it, something incredible happens. You stop chasing validation, and you start creating vision. You stop competing and you start becoming. You will face resistance. There will be those who question you, doubt you, even try to diminish you, but it will not matter, because when your roots are deep, the wind cannot shake you. When your belief is internal, no one can take it away. You no longer move for approval, you move with intention, and that changes everything. Protect your energy like territory. In the wild, a lion does not allow just any creature to wander through its territory. It watches, it guards, it understands something most people forget, that what you allow into your space, you allow into your mind. You must begin to view your energy like sacred ground, because it is. Your thoughts, your focus, your peace, they are not infinite resources. They must be protected with discipline and awareness. Too often, we give our energy away freely to arguments that don't matter, to people who drain us, to distractions that feel urgent but hold no real value. And over time, that constant leakage of focus, it weakens us. The lion is not constantly running, chasing, roaring. It conserves its energy. It only acts with purpose, because in nature, wasted energy can cost your life, and in your life, wasted energy will cost your dreams. Ask yourself, who do you allow into your mental space? What habits are slowly stealing your strength? What environments are dimming your fire, even if they appear harmless? This is not about isolation, it's about discernment. Just as the lion knows when to rest and when to hunt, you must learn when to engage and when to walk away. You must build boundaries not out of fear, but out of respect. Respect for your focus, respect for your time, respect for the person you are becoming. You don't have to explain your peace to people who thrive on noise. You don't have to defend your discipline to those who live in chaos. The lion does not explain why it walks alone, it simply does. When you protect your energy, you begin to hear yourself more clearly. You begin to move with intention, not impulse. You become more rooted, more stable, more alive, not because life is easy, but because you've chosen to stay aligned with your power. Let others waste their strength proving themselves to the world. You protect yours for something greater, for something real. Don't follow the crowd, carve your path. In the jungle, the lion does not follow the herd. It moves with independence. It chooses its direction not by popularity, but by instinct, by clarity of purpose. And that is why it leads. You were not born to blend in. You were not created to walk paths carved by other people's fears. Yet so often, we trade our originality for acceptance. We silence our intuition just to avoid judgment. We mold ourselves into what the world finds comfortable, and in doing so, we abandon our own fire. But understand this, there is no greatness in the crowd. There is only noise, only distraction, only a temporary comfort that slowly steals your strength. Following the crowd is the easiest way to get lost in comparison, lost in shallow goals, lost in a life that was never truly yours. The lion walks alone, not because it is lonely, but because it refuses to walk towards something that doesn't align with its nature. This kind of solitude is not emptiness, it is clarity, it is strength. It is a reminder that true power is often found in the path less taken. You must have the courage to be misunderstood, to be different, to walk away from what is expected and toward what is authentic. Because when you finally begin to live for what's real inside you, you stop needing the crowd to confirm your value. Let others chase popularity. Let them seek comfort in conformity. You must seek truth, your truth, and it will not be found by copying someone else's steps. It will be found by walking into the unknown with discipline, with focus, and with conviction. You are not here to follow, you are here to become. Patience builds precision. In the wild, the lion is not the fastest animal, it is not the most energetic, but it is the most precise, and that precision comes from patience. The lion watches, it observes for hours, sometimes in stillness, unnoticed, unbothered. It waits not because it is passive, but because it understands. Timing matters more than speed. One wrong move wastes energy. One hasty decision could mean failure. So it waits, and when the moment is right, it strikes with certainty. This is a powerful lesson in a world obsessed with speed. We are conditioned to believe that fast is better, that more is better, that immediate success is the goal, but rushing weakens your craft. Impatience clouds your judgment. When you move too fast, you lose the opportunity to move with intention. Patience is not laziness. It is the art of holding your energy until it can be released in the most effective way. It is the confidence to know that waiting is not wasting, it is building. In training the body, the mind, the spirit, there are no shortcuts. There is only consistent movement, disciplined observation, and the ability to endure the silence between action and result. The lion does not doubt itself just because it waits. It waits because it does not doubt. You must adopt the same mindset in your own journey. There will be seasons where nothing seems to be happening, where your efforts feel invisible, where progress seems slow, even still, but beneath the surface, something is taking root. And it is only through patience that it will grow strong enough to last. The undisciplined mind rushes and regrets, but the patient mind moves with clarity, and clarity brings power. Do not rush the process. Do not confuse stillness with failure. Every master, every warrior, every lion learns to respect the silence between the steps, because in that silence, precision is born. Roar only when it matters. In the jungle, the lion does not roar to impress. It does not roar to prove. It roars when it is time to declare its presence, when it must be heard, not when it simply wants to be noticed. This is the difference between power and performance. Most people live their lives reacting to every sound, every insult, every challenge. They speak before they think. They defend before they reflect. They shout into the world not from power but from insecurity. But the lion understands. If you roar at everything, your voice loses meaning. If you respond to every distraction, you lose direction. The roar, when overused, becomes noise, but when used with purpose, it becomes a commanding force. This is a teaching in restraint, in self-mastery, in choosing not just when to act but when to be still. There is strength in not responding. There is clarity in silence. You do not need to engage every voice that doubts you. You do not need to react to every trigger that tests you. A lion is not moved by the barking of dogs. It does not change its path just because something tries to distract it. The more reactive you are, the more predictable you become. And in life, just like in nature, the predictable are easily controlled. But when you choose deliberate silence, when you reserve your energy and speak only when it truly matters, your voice becomes undeniable. Your roar is not meant for validation. It is meant for purpose. And if your actions are already aligned with that purpose, you won't need to speak often. Let others waste their breath trying to be seen. You conserve your voice for the moment it truly counts, because when a lion finally roars, everything around it listens. Never settle, dominate your space. The lion does not simply survive. It does not just exist among the other animals. It dominates, not through chaos, not through noise, but through presence, strength, and absolute certainty in its place. You were not born to live small. You were not built to merely get by, to do just enough, or to shrink yourself so that others feel comfortable. You are here to occupy your space fully, to stand tall in your truth, to take up the ground meant for you, and to never apologize for your existence. But somewhere along the journey, you began to compromise. You started accepting almost enough. You started settling for good enough. And in that moment, a part of you began to dim, not because your light wasn't strong, but because you stopped giving it the room to shine. Settling is not humility. It is hesitation dressed in disguise. It is fear wrapped in convenience. It is the slow death of your potential, traded for comfort. The lion does not aim to be average in a jungle full of mediocrity. It commands its space not out of arrogance, but out of alignment with its nature. There is no guilt in greatness. There is no shame in wanting more, in expecting more, in working for more. What is shameful is watching your strength fade because you were too afraid to step forward. Every time you shrink to fit into someone else's box, every time you silence your voice to maintain peace, every time you hold back to make others feel better, you give away a piece of your territory. You are not meant to be invisible. You were not designed to blend in. You were born to command your lane, to dominate your craft, to push your boundaries, and to rise over and over again until your very presence speaks louder than words. There will always be people who want you to stay small, not because you're wrong, but because your expansion reminds them of their own inaction. But your path is not theirs to approve. Your growth is not theirs to manage. And your space is yours to own when you finally decide that you will no longer shrink. When you claim the space meant for you, you begin to move not as someone trying to fit in, but as someone who has arrived fully and without compromise. So now the question is not, do you have what it takes? The question is, are you willing to stop waiting? Are you willing to stop hiding, shrinking, doubting? Are you willing to awaken what has been asleep inside you for far too long? The lion within you is not gone, it's simply been silenced. Buried beneath fear, buried beneath comfort, buried beneath the opinions of others. But now is the time to rise. Now is the time to walk forward with discipline, with power, with absolute clarity. No more waiting to be chosen. No more apologizing for your fire.